Hey, Vinyl Community, Jeff back again. Just another quick update. I wanted to show some recent purchases that I made. Both of these have come from two recent, I don't know, one of these is probably a week or two old. The other one just came in this past week. They are some of those price drops on Amazon. Things that I've been watching on my wish list for a while that dropped in price. And one of them I realize now because it had been repressed, and that's this one. So this is a 2020, is it 2023, 2022? Another reissue, music on vinyl, Crocus. There's an original copy, I guess, that there had been a vinyl pressing of this, and then this is a more recent one, so that's why I guess it became available. The price dropped. Anyway, Dirty Dynamite, the 2013 Crocus album. So now this follows the 2010 Hoodoo album, which I picked up a few, I don't know, in the past year, which I guess had also recently been reissued. So, and again, it was on music on vinyl. So they've done a couple now, which has made them more available and easier to purchase. This one dropped in price by like 40%. And so it was in the a little over $20 range, and I jumped on it. So this is the era, of course, you know, that they've continued going on. And some of their stuff prior to this, prior to the 2010 Hoodoo album, a little tougher to get on vinyl. Maybe they'll go back and reissue some of those when you look at the 90s, the 2000 stuff. So then you get into 2010, and you know we have a handful of albums since then, a couple live albums, some other stuff that's come out. So looking forward to getting that. But you can, at least I can tell. So in the early days of Crocus, if you're not familiar, back in the early days, you know, the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, not the earliest couple albums when it was like a totally different band. But once Mark Storace came on board, and you have all of the, you know, all the albums prior to Headhunter, let's say that, the few before Headhunter with Mark Storace, they were always kind of compared to a, you know, kind of like AC/DC-ish. They you know, they're kind of AC/DC clones. I didn't think they were clones. I could hear a little AC/DC in his voice, and musically they were a little more than your typical, you know, 3-chord bluesy rock and roll like AC/DC. So they never, to me, really sounded like copies of AC/DC. They sounded like, you know, just they had a similar style, occasionally in vocal style. Then I think as I got into the 80s, everything, I never heard that anymore. His vocal style was unique, wasn't, you know, AC/DC-ish. Well, 2010's Hoodoo, and especially here, the music has become very bluesy, very blues, hard rockin', and his vocal style has become very much, you know, the opening track on this album, which has got this little quiet, it's kind of like it's quiet before it kicks in, and it's got this little, you hear him kind of talking along, humming along. It sounds like Brian Johnson. It just sounds like, I'm like, is this an AC/DC album? And then it kicks in. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I think they've done it great, but it definitely comes back. His voice now is very much falling back into that feel for AC/DC, and a lot of it's got to do with the bluesy feel of the music on these last two albums. So anyway, if you like that, I think it's great, because it's just, I don't mind that style at all. So I mean, obviously it's not a clone, but they do have that similarities. When I stuck this on to revisit it after a few years of not hearing, I'm like, wow, you know, yeah, I can hear it a little more now. So yeah, check it out. It is what do I got? This is it's on red. Okay, it is a double record set. Music on vinyl always does a great job with the artwork, with the cover. Everything they do is top notch. Looks good, sounds good. So, and like I said, it looks like it was recently redone, so it should be somewhat more readily available if you want to grab one of these while they're still out there. And then the other one I got, I'm not sure exactly when this came out now. I mean, it's an older album, but Doug Pinnick strummed some up. Picked it up, mainly I was focusing on the fact that, you know, I had got those, some of his previous stuff recently. And so I was kind of like, you know, there's only like one other album I need from him, and that's his first album. That would have been his first solo album. And so that one is still hovering up there a little high, but I'm looking to, you know, once I pull the trigger on that one, then I guess I will have all of Doug Pinnick's. Of course, Doug, you know, being the singer and the bass player for King's X. So anyway, this is some of his solo stuff, and this is a reissue on Cleopatra Records. They just churn out stuff. It is also on red like the other. It is a double record set. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, red and white vinyl. So one of them's red, one of them's white, which would make this one the white one. The gatefold. Not much in it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have a gatefold, I guess, in order to have two records, but put something in it. Put something in it. Put some pictures or something. I don't know. Kind of cheating just to kind of throw words in their song titles. You could put that on the inner sleeve. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. People are churning out records inexpensively, and, you know, I'm just hoping that a lot of these, especially Cleopatra, because they put out a lot of stuff, but I'm hoping a lot of these labels are giving us, you know, true items, you know, from the actual original analog tapes and or something. Of course, this would have been, this is 2022 reissue, 2007 album. It may not be analog, it may have been digital by then. He may have just done all digital, but I'm hoping that it's not just somebody, like, you know, burning a CD over to a record. I hope there's something done, remastered for vinyl. I probably should read up on it. It probably is. Co-produced, blah, 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 mastered. That should be the original album. Anyway, so yeah, I think there's one other Doug Pennick album, the first one that is not the Pound Hound albums, the first one under his name that I need, and I will believe will complete everything. This one, I think, well, it's got a little ding there. I don't know why this one dropped in price, but, you know, 2022, so it probably just, you know, had been long enough for Amazon to say, let's clear some of these out, and they dropped the price on this one. Maybe they'll drop the price on the first one soon, and I can grab that quickly, too. Anyway, just a couple of little price drops on Amazon, some cool stuff to fill some holes, and I thank you for watching. Rock on, and rock hard.